Hello and welcome. I am Nitesh Pradhan from LabVIEW and Multisim. In this video, we will start LabVIEW from beginning. If you are a new user, so you can follow this video to learn and understand about LabVIEW very effectively. I am making this video for the beginner of LabVIEW. In this video, we will learn how can we start LabVIEW, how can we write a program in LabVIEW, how can we save that file in our computer. Few questions we will take in this video. The question number one is what is the LabVIEW? Second question, property of LabVIEW. Then how to open VIs, parts of VI, data types, control and indicators, and how can we create project. So our first question is what is LabVIEW? Now, LabVIEW is a graphical programming environment. The LabVIEW is nothing, it's just a graphical programming environment. Okay, using this graphical programming environment, you can design your sophisticated measurement, test, and control system. You can interface wide variety of hardwares, National Instruments hardware and third-party hardware. Also, you can connect with a LabVIEW. LabVIEW is highly scalable, and you can run this platform with the different target and OS. Using the LabVIEW, you can design your applications, library, build applications, installers. Okay, you can create different kind of the project using the LabVIEW. LabVIEW is the acronym of Laboratory Virtual Instrument Engineering Workbench. What is the meaning of Laboratory Virtual Instrument Engineering Workbench? Suppose you want to design a program or you want to design a project, a prototype, and you don't have real hardware, or you are not highly confident with your logic and you want to test your logic, the logic will work or not. So you can use the LabVIEW platform to develop that concept, that logic. LabVIEW will give you that facility where you can design your all concept or logic virtually. Means LabVIEW will provide you a virtual instrument platform where you can develop your same concept whatever you want to develop. After development, you can test that concept, you can re-edit that concept, you can change something on that concept and again test, validate, and after that you can go for the real-time development or their prototype development. Large number of scientists, engineers, developers are using LabVIEW for their sophisticated measurement, test, and control system based development. You can use LabVIEW in your education platform and research platform also. If you want to acquire the data, so you can use LabVIEW. If you want to work on the image processing, signal processing, control system, robotics, automation, embedded, mechatronics, IoT, AI, artificial intelligence, AIML. So you can use your LabVIEW anywhere. If you want to design a wireless communication based on 5G, you want to design a measurement platform. Okay, you want to design a hardware in loop. So also you can use the LabVIEW. Again, I will say LabVIEW is nothing. It is just a programming language, and it is the easiest programming language. To write a code in a LabVIEW, you no need to go anywhere. You no need to learn any specific syntax. You no need to remember any specific structure of programming. In LabVIEW, you can write your program as per your own knowledge. Now, our next question is what is the property of LabVIEW? There are 5 properties in LabVIEW. Graphical and compile nature. LabVIEW is a graphical programming environment. Here we write our code using the G programming. G means graphical code we write To write the code, we use front panel and block diagram. And our LabVIEW is not that kind of traditional programming platform like C, C++, and Java. LabVIEW is a graphical programming environment, and also using the LabVIEW, you can compile each and everything. Second, data flow or event-based programming. In LabVIEW, we can write a code based on data flow. LabVIEW maintain the data flow architectures. LabVIEW program execute according to the data flow programming rule. It will not run your program top to bottom, it will run your program left to right. The data flow we can maintain, or the data flow LabVIEW maintain between node to node by determining the execution of order. Event-driven features is also present in the LabVIEW. Using this event-based programming, you can give the control to user. You can provide a interfacing platform to user where user can control the functions. And third is multi-target and platform capable. Using the LabVIEW, you can write parallel program. Using the LabVIEW, you can run parallel system. Suppose you are working in a field and you want to acquire the different data for different sensor. So there you can use this multi-target LabVIEW platform. Suppose there is 5 to 6 PC are there and they are acquiring a different data with a different rate, and you want to all this data, you want to store one place and you want to analysis. So you can use LabVIEW, and LabVIEW is platform capable. LabVIEW has a platform capability. You can write your program. You can burn that program using the on any controllers using FPGA concepts, and you can run that platform independently. You can leave that platform to run independently. After that, object-oriented facilities, LabVIEW will not restrict you to write a code in G programming only. You can write your code based on the C also, C++ also, but LabVIEW will give you a graphical programming environment to write a program. Graphical programming is very easy. It is 1,000 times easier than C programming and text-based programming. Multi-threading possibilities are also present here. LabVIEW enables your code to have automatic parallelism. In other language, if you want to run code in parallel, you have to manage the multiple thread manually. But the LabVIEW environment will give you that facility where you can run 3 to 4, 5, 10, 20, okay, n number of code in a one page. You can say in a simultaneously. You can start and stop both the concepts simultaneously. Okay, so now our next topic is how to open VI. So let's go to the hands-on session. Now, when you will launch your VI, when you will launch your LabVIEW, when you will open your LabVIEW in your computers, so you will get the LabVIEW environment like this. It is a getting started window of LabVIEW. In this getting started window, you will get three things: create project, open existing, and this toolbar. Using this create project, you can create a project. What is the meaning of project? We will discuss later. How can we create a project? We will discuss later. But here I want to say only one line. Project is a collection of different kind of the VIs, different kind of the file, executable file, non-executable file, support file, and other extensions. And using the open existing, if any file is present in your PC, no matters who had write that file. Okay, suppose you had developed that file or you had borrowed that file from other developers, you can open that existing file using the open existing. Now You can see here file, operate, tools and help. So as a beginner, we need to focus here only. As a beginner, the file is only important thing for us. So to enter inside the lab view, we need to come here, and after that we need to press this new VI. If you want to enter in the lab view, so you can enter through this new VI, or you can press Ctrl plus N. So I like to press Ctrl N. When you will press Ctrl N, so you will get two windows. You will get two windows. One gray color grid window and one you will get with the white background. So this gray color window is front panel and this white background is block diagram. To write any code or to write any program, we need to use both front panel and block diagram simultaneously. So how can we manage, or how can we tile this front panel and block diagram to use simultaneously? That is our question. So to tie our front panel and block diagram, to manage our front panel and block diagram, we need to come to this window. When you will come to this window and click, you will get this tile left and right. When you will press, when you will click, so you will get front panel in left side and block diagram on right side. The left side is front panel and is block diagram. Front panel is for the developers. Sorry, front panel is for the users. Front panel is for the users, is for the customers, and block diagram is for the developers. Using the front panel, you will give that platform where your user can interact with your system. Using the block diagram, you can write your code. As a developer, if you want to write a code, you want to create a logic, so for that you can use block diagram. When you will right click in the front panel, you will get this control palette, and when you will right click in the block diagram, you will get this function palette. When you will right click in the front panel, you will get a control palette. When you will right click in the front panel, you will get a function palette. Function palette contain all kind of the functionality, nodes and other identities. Control palette contain all kind of the controls and indicators. Controls and indicators. Control means if you want to give any input, okay, if you want to give any input, so for that you need to create a controller. If you want, user can provide an input, user can give an input, so for that you have to create a control. If you want to generate any value, if you want to display your value, so for that display you need to create a indicator. So control palette contain all kind of the controls and indicator. Control panel are arranged with different kind of data types: numeric, boolean, string. Inside the data containers path and cluster. Here the enumerate data type is present, and here the graph, we call it dynamic data type, is present here. Now how can we save this? How can we save this VI? So it is a VI. VI is stands for virtual instruments. Virtual instruments. In the field of LabVIEW, whatever the code you want to write, you can write using the VI only. VI is the LabVIEW program. VI is the key programming platform of the LabVIEW of the LabVIEW for your project. I want to save this one. So I will come to the file and I will click on the save. So now here I am going to document. Inside the document, here I am going to create a new folder, and here I am going to give the folder name day 1. Inside the day 1, here I am going to save my file. Here I am going to save my file. So now you can see here, this is untitled 2. If you will see here, so it is untitled 1 front panel, and it is untitled, sorry, it is untitled 2 front panel and title 2 block diagram. Here I am going to change the name. Program file. Program file. Okay. So now the name is program file. Our extension is VI. Inside the bracket you can see .vi, .vit and .vim. VI is a virtual instruments. If you want to know about the difference between VI, VIT and VIM, so you can Google it. Now our name has been changed. Program file .vi front panel. So it is my front panel. It is my block diagram. Now our third topic we need to discuss, and that is parts of VI. So what is the parts of VI? VIs have three main part. VIs, each and every VIs have three main part: front panel, block diagram, and icon and connector pen. How can we create a front panel? We create a front panel using control and indicator. To design a block diagram, we need terminals, wires, functions, and nodes. And when we use icon and connectors. Now you can see here our add function is look like this. Using the icon, we can manage how our VI will look, and using the connector pen, we can manage how our input will connect with our functions. We will discuss it later. Now let's talk about the parts of VI here. So how can we create a what is the front panel? It is a front panel. We can create our front panel by using controls and indicators. In the block diagram, we can write our code, and this one is my icon and connector pen. It is connector pen, it is icon. Let's try to write a program. So here I am going to close this VI. When I will close this VI, so after that I will get again this getting started window. I am going to enter here. Now press Ctrl T to align both left and right. Let's try to write a first program. Here I am going to write a program to number generate. So for that, right click in the front panel, come into the numeric. When you will come into the numeric, where you will get first column, first row, or first row, first column. Numeric control, take a numeric control here. Then again I am going to show you how can we take. Right click, come, take a numeric control and place here. When you will take a numeric control, you will get this numeric 1. When you will take a numeric indicator, it's same numeric indicator. Here I am going to change the color and change the name. It's numeric and numeric control and numeric indicators. Numeric control is responsible for the input value, and using the indicator you can display your data you can display your logic. So here I am going to change the name. How can I change? Double click, input, and here I am going to change the name output. Input and output. Now if you want, so you can connect. So you have seen here I have taken this numeric control from the front panel and numeric indicator from the front panel control palette, right? I didn't take it. So listen carefully. Whenever you will take a numeric control and indicator, so automatically a terminal will appear in the block diagram. It is numeric control terminal. It is numeric indicator terminal. It is control terminal. It is indicator terminal. So now let's try to connect control and indicators. So to make a connection between control and indicator, you have to do some magic. You no need to read any spell. Just you have to click. Look at here my screen. My cursor is look like plus sign. When I will come here, when I will touch this node, what is it? It is numeric control terminal. It is numeric indicator terminal. Now we need to make a connection between control and indicator. When you so it is my control, it is my indicator. You can see here the arrow is outwards, arrow is inwards. So when you will touch this node, your cursor will automatically change into dumbbell shape. So click here and move it. Nice. The connection has been established. Now whatever the value I will write here, and I will run the after that when I will run the program, it will transfer that value from my input to output. Look at here, minus 334.78. Run. So how can we run? Look at here, and look at here this second ribbon, second toolbar. Okay, the first one is run. Also run is present in block diagram. Run continuously, run continuously. Abort. Abort is also present here. Pause. And here one more thing is present, that is a highlight execution. We will use within a second, we will use this. Now run the program. Click. Now you can see the data has been transferred. Here I am going to click the run continuous button. Now you can see it's continuously simulating my system. It's continuously simulating my system. So if I want, so I can change the value. Now you can see it is increment and decrement. So I can change my increment and decrement value easily. If I want, so I can write the value directly. Okay, I can write positive and negative value. I can write decimal value. So how it transfer data? These are internally connected. It is control terminal, it is indicator terminal. As a user, whatever value you will give here, it will display the same value. You can say it is scanf, it is printf. Now come into the block diagram and click in the execution highlight. When you will click on the execution highlight, now you can see here is generating the value 2. When I will change it, now you can see it's generating 3. It's continuously generating 3. When I will change, it will again change the value. So it is the execution highlight. Now you can see how easily you can analysis the data flow model here. Right? So what is that? Here we are using the numeric. So here we are using the numeric input, numeric output, numeric control, numeric indicator. There is one difference between control and indicator in the block diagram and two difference in front panel. The first difference in front panel is the background. The input background means control background is white, output background means the indicator background is gray, and your control will appear with the increment and decrement button. When you will right click on this control, so you will get a shortcut menu. When you will right click on this indicator, you will get a shortcut menu also. When you will right click on the terminal, you will get the same control menu, but something has, okay, some extra thing you will get, but same control menu as like the front panel. So here I am going to save this program, numeric, NUMBER. Now I'm going to close this program. You will get again this getting started window. In getting started window, the file is here. To enter inside, you can press Ctrl N. You will get same front panel and block diagram simultaneously. To align both left and right, you can press Ctrl T. You can press Ctrl T. Now, when you will right click in the front panel, you will get a control palette. I am going to pin in. Control palette are divided with the modern, NXG style, silver, system, classic, express. Other functions also you will get, but main are this six type. Modern, NXG, silver, class, system, classic, express. All these are same thing. Their look are the same, but their look are different, but the behavior and the functionality are same. We will discuss later. When you will right click in the functions palette, in the block diagram, you will get function palette. In the function palette, you will get the large number of a palette, programming, measurement IO, instrumentation IO. IO means input and output. Okay, vision and motion, mathematics, signal processing, and others. Here I am going to right click, and here I am going to right click and going to use this numeric platform. Once more, what I am trying to do here I am trying to write a number, and I am going to display that value with a different style. Means I want to display that value in this thermometer. So this thermometer is indicator, and this numeric is my input. You can see when I will change it, so you will see the change in the color in the thermometer. Here the second data type is Boolean data type. Numeric data type and Boolean data type. Boolean data type is a binary functions. Means using the Boolean data type, you can write true, false, on, off, 1, 0 kind of logic. That means if you want to control any functions, or you want to start and stop condition want to provide to any system, so you can use the Boolean. Boolean is nothing, it is just a binary representations. In the field of LabVIEW, we will get the Boolean in the manner of switch and LED. So here I am taking one Boolean control. The Boolean control name is push button. and here I am taking one more boolean, and that is LED. So two boolean I have taken here. Here I am going to connect. So it is boolean control terminal, it is boolean indicator terminal. I am going to make a connection. Again it is a operating tool. We need a connecting tool. So to make a connection, we need this one. Okay, now let's try to check our function. Here I am going to press the run continuously button. When I will press the boolean, so boolean 2 will glow. When I will click it again, press it again, so it will off, on, off. Why on and off? So let's check the logic behind the on and off. Now you can see here, this boolean is associated with two concepts, true and false. This boolean can generate only true or false. At a single time it can generate false, either it can generate true. It's generating false, and this LED is getting that false. That's why the LED is switch off right now. When I will press it, so the command will change, and now the next command is true. Now it's generating true. That's why the LED is glowing. Here I am going to take one more functions and boolean, that is switch, and we can change the name switch, and we can take one more output as indicator. Now you can make a connection like this. Let's see how it will behave. So for that, to check, we need to press the run continuously, then open execution highlight. This is okay. This one is boolean control terminal, boolean control terminal, which is also, it is what, boolean indicator terminal, boolean indicator terminal. Here I am going to pause about. We can change the label from block diagram also. LED, run, switch. In this way you can use the boolean. Here I am going to save the program. LED on, off. Let's go to the third data type. In this OVI, we will use string data type. String data type. String is our third primary data type. Primary data type. Where we will get the string. So we'll get the string in the control palette, first row, third number here, or the third column, first row. So first take a string control and take a string indicator and try to make a connection. So it is string control and it is string indicator. String is a concatenated behavior of ASCII characters. Our system don't understand A, B, C, D, plus, minus. Our system understand only 1 and 0. So whatever the information, whatever the notification, whatever the content you want to write, or you write, to write the things, you and I, we use string. And string is a concatenation of ASCII characters. A, B, C, D, alphabet and numbers are independent characters. We put that characters to create meaningful informations. Here I am using, hey, I am Nitesh Pradhan. I am using LabVIEW from last 9 years. I have written these informations. Now you can see somewhere I am using a in the middle of the sentence, in the start of the sentence, at the end of the sentence. Each and every alphabet are independent ASCII characters. To create something valuable, we need to put all these characters in concatenate manner. So here I am going to write, here I am going to press run button. When you will press run button, so this logic will transfer your input to the output. Now you can see, if I will change at the runtime, it is the power of LabVIEW. If I will change anything in the runtime, so that will be registered in my program. I am a big Modi fan. You can say pub. So same thing. Later we'll see how can we use the block diagram. I will make a sorry. Later we'll see how can we use the function palette related to the numeric and all. I will make separate video for each and every function palette. Now I'm going to store this program in my computer. String program. If you want, so you can write this line, hello hello world. Please try. Close this program. Now here I am going to show you the difference between controls and indicators and data type both. Come here, press Ctrl T, right click, come into the numeric and take a numeric control and its numeric input. No need to write anything, just numeric. It's numeric control. Take a numeric indicator. Take a boolean control and take a boolean indicator. Take a string control and take a string indicator. Let's try to make a connection between control and indicator. It is numeric control terminal, boolean control terminal, string control terminal, string indicator terminal, boolean indicator terminal, numeric indicator terminal. Focus in the block diagram, please. In the block diagram, you can see something. Numeric, the color of numeric is orange. The color of boolean is green. The color of string is pink. Again, the color of numeric is orange. The color of boolean is green, and the color of string is pink. So orange wire. If you will get orange wire in any functions, that means it's transmitting or it's transferring the numeric value. It's transferring a boolean value, and it's transferring a ASCII characters in terms of string. You can run the program and you can write different kind of the, okay, you can use all this platform, all this different data type in one single platform. No need to write a different code, or no need to use different target. Using one platform you can write so many different programs. There is one data containers in front panel. Array and cluster are secondary and derived data types. Boolean, string and numeric, these are the primary data types. These are the secondary data types. After that, graph is also a secondary data types, and this one enum is also a secondary data types. So we have near about the 7 data type in our lab view. Let's save the function with the name of data type. Let's come into the next example. Here we will learn about the different kind of the style. So here I am taking numeric control. Here I am taking a silver numeric indicator. Here I am taking the classic numeric control. Sorry, system numeric control and classic numeric indicator. When you will focus in the front panel, you will find the looks are different only, but the behavior and the functionality are the same. Here you can connect like this. Here you can connect like this. They will not register. They will connect easily, and you can transmit your data. You can do your work. Okay. Let's try to use. Let's try to take different data type to understand the difference between this style. So here I am taking a pause button, taking a round LED. When I will come into the NXG, take a NXG LED. Come here to the silver, you will get this pause button. you will get this boolean. Looks are the different, but the behavior are same each and every way. Now I think it's clear to all of you. There's no need to worry. Each and every style are same here. Now coming to the numeric control. So here you can see in this numeric, it is a numeric control, basic numeric control. I am taking a basic numeric control and placing here. It's input, okay, input, output. Here I am taking knob, here knob. Where you can get the knob, right click, numeric, pin in, knob. Using this knob, I want to change the voltage. Voltage. Using this meter, I want to measure that voltage. Here the dial. I want to change the pressure. And using the gauge, I want to display. When you will come into the block diagram, you will find the view and the functionality are same for all of this. It is my numeric control, it is also numeric control, numeric control. So numeric control terminal, numeric control terminal, numeric control terminal, numeric indicator terminal, numeric indicator terminal, indicator terminals. Make a connection. So these are the different representations. If you want to design your front panel as analogous your system, you have one real-time hardware and you want to display your front panel same like the system, so you can use this platform, you can use this different logic. Either I can display the meter value in using this basic indicators. I can display my value using this basic indicator, but I want to display in terms of analog, or you can say I want to display in the meter, so I can use this meter object. So in the field of LabVIEW we call it object. It is a numeric object, numeric control object, numeric indicator objects. It will give you the same analogous view as like your system, your real-time system. Now here I am going to run. I am going to change the value. You can see here. You can see here. If you want to increase now, if you have one question, sir, the range is only 0 to 10, but I want to change it 0 to 100. So no need to worry. Just double click on this 10. Just double click on this 10 and right here 100. Just double click and change it 1. 1. So now you will see 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9 and 1. 0, 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. Now if you want to change the value in of a range, so also you can double click and you can change the range. You can also change the range. Let's see. These are the same numeric indicators, same numeric control. No worry, if I will take a numeric control here, sorry, numeric indicator here, and I will connect this numeric indicator, basic numeric indicator, so it will display the value also. It will display that value. Now the value is 0.6777677,237. Okay, if you have done, so let's move. I'm going to save it. Very control. Our next target is create a project. How can we create a project? That is our next target. Let's see how can we create a project. So when you will come into the getting started window, you will get create project, other you will get this file IO. So here I'm clicking in file, you will get this create project or file. So in the file you will get the create project. There are four class: first class, second class, third class, fourth class. Here it is new VI. Using this new VI, we can open our VI where we can write our code. Open, it is a or different thing. As a beginner, no need to go to the new. Open, if you have already written any file, so you can open it. Create projects. So click here, create projects. When you will click on the create project, it will take few seconds. It will take few seconds, and then you will get this window, create project window. In this create project window, this create project window are divided in two types, two parts. This one is template, mean listing part, and it is the full explanation part. So here the blank project is present. If you want, so you can click the blank project. Either you can click the blank project and you can hit the finish button. Finish button is here. Now when you will press the finish button, you will get project explorer. You will get this project explorer. So what is the meaning of project explorer? Project explorer, okay, it's a project explorer window. Project explorer window compile and store all these relative path files and information related to the particular project. Project and project explorer is the same. Project is a final terms with the name, but project explorer window is the window where you can keep, or yes, you can keep your all file and extension and other things. LabVIEW consists VI and other files, necessary files, supplement files, interlinked file by using the project explorer. In this project explorer, you will get this toolbar. The extended toolbar you will find here, items and file. This one is my project root. This one is my project root. Project root contain all other item in project explorer window with the specific label. My computer is targeted hardware. My computer is that targeted hardware where we are trying to create a project. Dependencies include the VI and other items. Dependencies, it includes the VIs and other items as per the target required. Suppose you want to connect a Arduino with LabVIEW. So whatever the dependencies means, whatever the library is required, all this library will address under the dependency. And the build specification include build specification include the configuration for source distribution and other type of built-in library. What is the concepts of build specification? Build specification includes the build configuration for source distribution. Suppose you want to design a .exe file of your project, installer file of your project, zip file of your project, or shared library of your project. So build specification will help you. Now I am going to save this VI. I am going to save this project in my computer. Right now it is present virtually. To virtually, it is present virtually. If I will click this cross button, so I will lose my all this content. I need to save it. Now if I will click in the file, so I will get it is blank here. So here I am going to click to save all. So it will redirect me in the day one. I am creating one project file. Inside the project file, I am going to save my project. So now the extension has been changed. Extensions means save as type extension is .lvproj. So my file name is first project. After that, press the OK button. Let's go to our system. Now look at here. It's the document day one. Inside the day one project file is present. Now you can see first project and date is 12/9/21 8 p.m. and two allies file are here. Supporting files are here. Now, how can I create a VI? How can I use it? To move further, first click in the file, check. It will give you the complete directories information where your project is present. User Nitesh document day one and project file. First project.lvproj is present. Here, if you will right click in the project, so you will get this new target folder, target and device. Target folders means which folder you want to target. Target and device means suppose you want to use a controller based DEX system, means CRU system, or you want to use any programmable platform, FPGA based programmable platform, and you want to call that programmable platform as a secondary target system. So you can call using this this option. Okay, and now right click in my computer and come into the new VI. When you will click in the new VI, one VI will generate here with the same way. Here I can press Ctrl T. Now I want to save this VI with some name. Save this. So here I am going to save this VI with FI program. First program. So what kind of first program I am going to write here? Look at here. Here I am trying to write a program to add of name. Look at here. Right click, come into the string, take a string control, first name. Now I am taking another one. Second name. right click, come here and take one more time same control, last name, take one more, take an indicator with the and change the name, rename it, change the name, full name. Now here I will teach you how can we add two names. So here I am going to write NATIONAL, national, INS, national instruments. I want to add. So for that, look at here carefully in the block diagram, or right click in the block diagram, right click in the block diagram. When you will right click in the block diagram, the function palette will open. In this function palette, the third column, first, second, the third column, third column. In the third column, second number, string is present. String function palette. We call it string function palette. In this string function palette, this concatenated string is present. Take the concatenated string and place here. Now, right click, visible item, label. Right click, okay, connect this one. After the national, I am pressing one, I am putting one space. I am putting one space. Now you will get the full name, national instrument. I am going to save this program. If I will close it, so I will not lose my program. I can double click and I can open it. If you want to see the indicator, so you can block diagram, so you can create a block diagram. So it is a basic of LabVIEW. How can we create a project? How can we create a VI? How can we use the front panel and block diagram? And further, we will learn step by step about the function palette, numeric function palette, string function palette, boolean function palette, and other things. So thank you for watching this video. If you will find anything good, so please like and share. If you want to suggest anything, so you can drop a comment in the below section. Thank you.